Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. Oh my God.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Ready? You ready? Check 55, Mike. Wait,
on first down, Breeze. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jerome Baker. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. They run with Morris. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 6 on the run. It'll be 3rd down now with still a long way to go to get to the first down marker.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
On 3rd and long, it's Breeze. Complete out right to Jake Butt. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football, got to him, and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10. Play action. Now it's Mahomes. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. Marquise Goodwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills have taken the early lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And they may just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
Let's go!
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way, just like us calling one, right?
Looking to hit Matthews, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he will score. Touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now 14-0. This fielded at the 2. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against?
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. But you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit, and find our way back into this game.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
First catch so far for Julio. He's got a 1st down. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, put you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. And this one is right down Broadway. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Gold maybe not blessed with the strongest leg in the league, but he might be the most accurate. 2 for 2 from 50-plus a year ago, and he converts another one here.
Yeah, you don't want to play horse with Robbie Gould as a kicker. That guy can maneuver a football with his foot.
The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, 1-play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
43. Yellow.
They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
5 in the secondary now for the Giants here on third. Mahomes now to throw. And the Giant rush gets home as down he goes. It's John Simon with a sack. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
A good kick, 49 yards. Just 3 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from...
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Ready to roll for the second quarter from MetLife Stadium. The Giants with the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now Breeze. That's caught left side by Jake Butt. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field,
and he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Mike Hughes came crashing in that time, got the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a handoff for Lindsay. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Mahomes hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And the Giants ready to come out now. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys to try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
All I remember from my experience as a defender, when the big fella gets the football, you've got to get on him early before he gets a chance to get up ahead of steam, because once he does that, he's going to leave a lot of tacklers in his wake.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
Give them 6 there, but now it's third. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Breeze going to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a first down.
I know you're trying to have the scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, I need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 10 more there and another first down. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. To throw is Breeze. This will be caught at about the 6. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Again, it's Breeze. Toward the pylon, caught. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now 3rd and goal from the 2. They've come all this way, 97 yards on the drive. Breeze now to throw. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down just inside the 5-yard line. Deron Payne able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it will be 4th down. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
That's it, baby. We got work.
Phillip Lindsay and the rest of the offense heading back out. And the good news, his team's winning. The bad news, he hasn't had the game that he's hoped to, at least to this point here in the second quarter.
And a lot of that is pride, because these types of backs want to be in the center of all the action and leading their team to victory. They'll take the win right now, hoping to jump his game up as this one moves on.
He probably wants a little bit more of the spotlight going forward. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. On play action, it's Mahomes. Finding Paris Campbell, and there's Campbell's first NFL catch. 23 yards the pickup there. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 54 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So a big play before the end of the half to get them into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So we have reached halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They go play action. Now Mahomes. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Zadarius Smith gets him for a loss of 10 yards from his linebacker spot.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
They go play fake. Mahomes in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Zadarius Smith picks up his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Call it no gain on the dump-off, and it's third down. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Let's go, baby.
Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Like how they started the third quarter here. They force a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. Another try after the first down sack. Mahomes, and they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
You better be ready next time.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On second down, Jacobs. It's a gain of 7 on the ground, but they'll be faced with 3rd and long.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Jacobs. And he's got this down to the 35. 13 yards, good for a giant first down.
And sometimes you have to serve as your own blitz control. And what I mean by that is there are going to be times when guys come free and are going to hit you when you're trying.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Deion Jones able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
On second down now, it's Jacobs. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Here's Breeze to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that'll make this an 8-point game. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense. All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Now here's Mahomes. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, T.J. Ward. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown. with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously in hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. The defense did their job. 4th quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at them from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
And now out come the Giants. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Morris. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Now the pass brought in by Roberts. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. All tied up. Less than 2 minutes to go. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got it 1st and 10 as they search for a go-ahead score. Here's Breeze. Man open left side is Brown. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. And 2 big plays, one after the other. Now all of a sudden, they're on the march.
Got to feel good about what they've just gotten done, and now feel really good about what's in front of them.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
On second down, it's Morris. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line. The Giants on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. So a big kick coming for Robbie Gould. The kick by Gould is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. All right, so time to reset here. It's a huge kick there, gives them the lead, but they've got to be careful that their celebrations aren't a little too premature.
You're exactly right about that, because there still is time for the other guys to run a few plays and get into field goal position. So this defense is going to need to come up with one final stop if they're going to get out of here with a victory.
Patrick Mahomes in the offense. Down 20-17. A little over 40 seconds to go. They need, at minimum, 3 points out of this as they come up 1st and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10.
Hey, 43, 15. Watch the ship. 61. Matchbox, right.
To throw is Mahomes. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Mahomes to throw. Screen pass to Lindsey. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And they will get the timeout. So 3 seconds remaining, and they can trot out the field goal unit and try to send this one to overtime. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. With 3 seconds to go, if it's good, we're off to overtime. And his kick is indeed good, and the Bills have tied the game here in the 4th. And we have free football. Overtime, here we go, my friend. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That can give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done, now part 2. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mahomes. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And that will break our tie and give him a 3-point lead. So yet another field goal to end the drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often. But you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put up.